Hello and welcome to the ZENTS Wellness Room. My name is Leah Crump. I am going to be teaching a class today. It's part 2 out of 5, the traditional Chinese elements, 5 elements, gentle yoga and self-massage. Today we're going to focus on the radiating fiery energy of summer, and associated with that radiant fire energy are the organs, the heart, the small intestine, and then the facial areas that we're going to be massaging will be the nose and the lower middle part of the forehead there. And we're going to be opening up the chest, of course, as you can imagine, some heart opening, very gentle poses, as well as addressing the inner and downward motion of the heart and triple warmer meridians that go into all through the inside of the arm. So let's begin. Find yourself in a comfortable seat. That can be sitting sensei, or if you would prefer to sit cross-legged. Just start to settle yourself into your space. Sitting up nice and tall in your seat, maybe removing any excess flesh below your rear. Nice, tall, elongated spine. Close your eyes down. Palms can rest up or down on the top of the legs. And simply begin to breathe naturally, settling into your space, settling into how your body feels right now, today. As you inhale, begin to elongate your spine, especially in the thoracic mid-back heart center area. Inhale, sit a little taller. Any adjustments you need to make to be comfortable for a few moments of breath work. Focusing on the heart space in the front, sides, and back of your body. Continuing with your eyes closed, inhale into that space. And see if you can prevent your shoulders from raising up as you inhale. Simply keep them relaxed as you breathe a little more deeply now. Breathing the intention of love, charisma, inspiration, creativity. Now begin to really focus into the side bodies, waking up your obliques, your lats, waking up the energy underneath and inside your armpits. On your next exhale, give an audible sigh. Good. And now let's begin with some gentle neck rolls, chin to chest. Clockwise circles, gently at first, but make your circles bigger, this time going all the way back. Even looking up at the ceiling a little bit. Make 3 big clockwise circles at your own pace. Stop where it's sticky. And take note of where it's sticky so that you can come back to it again and again throughout your practice, knowing that this will be a good spot to give some extra self-care. And switch sides if you haven't already. In these gentle yoga classes that I teach, we'll move a little bit slower than your typical vinyasa flow. And that's because I really want you to get into your body and your mind, slowing down to make that connection as to not avoid any areas that are crying out for some extra TLC. And you'll meet chin to chest again. Inhale and exhale here. Bring your chin a little bit more deeply to your chest. Give a little cat. Really pushing back into that back heart space, that thoracic T4, 5, 6. Inhale, seated cow. Again, we're really focusing. Exhale, cat, on the heart space here. Inhale. On your next exhale, I really want you to crunch in your small intestine area. Crunch in, compress in, moving at your own pace here. It's an expansion, compression. And really bring your chin to chest on that cat. One more at your own pace. Good, let's meet in the middle. If you happen to have any good smelling lotions or essential oils nearby, I have put some ZENTS mandarin lotion on my hands a few minutes before I came to this class. So if you do have something nearby that you like to practice with, go ahead and put a few drops or a small amount on your hands. I chose mandarin today because it's uplifting. Citrus is very just a positive and inspiring scent. Give a few smells. And it feels perfect for this heart-opening practice today. Now, in traditional Chinese medicine, there's a map of all the organs on the face, the hands, the feet, the front of the body, back of the body, as well as the abdomen. And I'm probably even missing a few others that you may know of. But today, focusing on the face, as I mentioned earlier, we have the heart here at the center of the nose, and we have the small intestine right through here, kind of that bottom half just above the eyebrows of the forehead. And you may notice that it feels really good to massage yourself above the eyebrows here. So what I want you to do is simply place your fingertips, some of them, if not all, just right here at this center point of the forehead. Close your eyes down one more time and simply listen to my voice. You're providing gentle compressions in and slightly upward. You may even feel that you're raising your eyebrows with the pressure from your fingers and hands. And I want you to provide gentle upward and outward circular motions, starting at the beginning of this central forehead point, moving outward all the way to the outside edges above your eyebrows. If there's any point that feels really good, hang out there. Absolutely give yourself some pressure point therapy. And just breathe into this self-care that you're giving yourself. I like to go over my eyebrows, up and outward, just smoothing out any tension that builds throughout the day, or even waking up in the morning. Sometimes it's just so nice to massage the face. Now let's move down to the nose. And if any of you have children, you may know about the old Scandinavian and other cultures of the nose petting. The indigenous Eskimos do this as well. It's just a downward petting from the top of the bridge of the nose down to the tip of the nose. So again, close your eyes down and take one pass with your right fingertips, one pass with your left fingertips, keeping the shoulders relaxed and down. Take about 10 passes. This can be even a feather light touch, almost a tickle or a whisper of care to this very most central point of your face. And then use both fingers to just drag down and do some gentle squeezing compressions, tip of your nose, down towards the nasolabial fold. Good. And then just smooth out and upward anywhere that feels good. And we'll bring our hands to the top of your neck here. Give 3 to 5 gentle yet firm squeezes as you work your way down today down the front of the neck. You'll feel the sternocleidomastoid, this larger muscle here that goes down on both sides, down into the collarbone. And what I'd like you to do when you're done with your squeezes is some gentle dragging of the fingertips. So making a hook with your fingers, starting off at the very top of the SCM, sternocleidomastoid muscle, the jawline there, and just drag down through the front side of that ropey muscle. Ooh, feel a good spot. Stop. And drag all the way down to the front inside of the collarbone. Do that 2 or 3 more times on your own. Perhaps there's a little side stretch of the neck that feels good. Maybe you're hearing some crinkling and cracking, some healthy and welcome self-adjustment with those vertebrae and the fascia that's getting moved to a more open space. Now, just like we did with the nose, petting down right through this front of the meeting point of the collarbones here at the sternum. Some gentle yet firm petting and raking. About 3 to 5 passes there. And then simply begin with some tapping right at this point. You can tap both hands at the same time or tap one after the other. This is a potent NLP technique, soothes the mind, calms the nervous system, and allows you to enter into the parasympathetic mode, which is exactly where we want to be. Slow down your tapping. And now I want you to hold both hands in front of the very top of your pec minor, pec major, using your thumbs. If you can see here, my hands are just like this, using the thumbs to find that sweet spot at the very tops of the chest muscles. You will find a spot that you maybe didn't know about before now that feels a little bit sore, especially if you move your body often. So find that spot, and if you're not feeling a strong sensation or a juicy sensation, simply find where it feels thicker. There's a bit of a thick ropiness, and this is actually a really wonderful acupressure, acupuncture point, the starting point of your triple warmer meridian. And we're going to work outward from there along that inner line of the arms. And as you inhale your chest upward, feel the pressure, the gravity of your body really pushing into that point that you found. And start to move a little bit more outward towards the armpit. And I am sore, so this is feeling really great for my pecs. And also I want to remind you all, the lymphatic system, we have all these lymph nodes that are exactly where we're working, from the face down, through the sides of the neck, and of course through this chest, breast tissue, armpits. Absolutely so detoxifying to hang out in this area and flush, especially as we flush towards the heart. That allows the heart and the circulatory system to do its job of flushing out any toxins or anything that we no longer need in our body. A properly working lymphatic and circulatory system are key to following through with the liver gallbladder that we worked on last week, doing all that heavy lifting. Okay, very good. Now I want you to bring your arm out and up to the side, and we're simply going to do some brushing from the tips of the fingers down the inside of the arm. Brush at your own pace. Whatever pace feels good for you is good for your body. Hitting the inside, top, middle, lower inner part of the arm, and really making sure you're working down into the armpit as you go. And I want you to take about 20 to 25 passes working the arm here. Good. And also an opening chest stretch is possible from this position. Just take a few more until you feel complete. Give your arm a little rest, maybe some shoulder shrugs, forward, up, back, and down. And moving to the other side, same thing. Make sure you're not holding your breath. Make sure you're breathing easily, maybe even a little more purposeful. In through the nose, out through the nose, or in through the nose and out through the mouth. Work just fine here. Again, making sure you're being very thorough with hitting the inner upper, inner middle, inner lower, and so important to go straight into and through that armpit there. Now bringing it back a little bit with the chest. Opening stretch, opening the front of the shoulder, opening the inside of the arm there. And just a few more. Whew. Waking up those shoulders. Any stretches, any movements you need or desire. Yeah, go for it. And one more thing from this seated position. Let's just simply readjust your legs if you haven't switched sides yet. Move all around however is comfortable for you. I'm actually going to choose to be in a wide-legged forward fold stance. So my legs are straight and outward at this angle here. And I'm going to have us do a few side body stretches again. So we'll breathe in, exhale. One more, inhale, and exhale to the side. Maybe your forearm is touching the ground. Maybe your hand, your palm is touching. And just find that perfect angle. And I want you to slightly cactus arm your top arm to make sure that your chest And your side body, your inner shoulder, front of the body there, and the arm are getting that stretch. You can look up, neutral, or down. 3 to 5 breaths here. And make sure you keep your opposite hip glued down to the ground. Your next inhale, come on up, both arms up, inhale. Exhale, opposite side. Good. It doesn't matter at all how far down you go. The most important thing is activating the side body, front of the chest, inner arm, inner shoulder. And I know I'm even feeling this down at my hip, the very low back. Feels good. Three more breaths here at your own pace. Inhale, both arms up. Exhale, drag your fingers down across the middle of the forehead, down through the tip of the nose, at your heart center here. Beautiful. Let's just come into a child's pose now. From wherever you're sitting here, let's go into a wide leg, toes to touch, knees wide, child's pose. And really get restorative here. Just with your eyes remaining closed, you can move the head from side to side as you're in this child's pose position, massaging out that small intestine, part of the facial map of the body that we worked on earlier, just above those that liver area that we focused on last week. Dropping down even more deeply into the parasympathetic system, allowing it to really settle down your mind and your body. And make any adjustments in your knees, your hips. See if it's possible for you to sink down even more deeply into this restorative pose. And we'll be here for about 3 or 4 more minutes. Adjust as needed. Focus on opening the front of the chest, the front body, the inner and upper arms and shoulders here. Perhaps that means taking a bit of a wider position with your hands. Palms can be face up or face down. Okay. Radiating summer energy in traditional Chinese medicine is all about charisma, being personable, creativity, passion, fieriness, and of course, having this energy be dead center in the middle of summer, as we are during this particular time in the United States at least, allows for us to really embrace that feeling of longer days and being outside and being productive, getting things done. All of this to say that remaining in balance with that passion and charisma and radiating go-getter energy also means self-care and taking the time at the end of each day or whenever you can throughout your day to focus on bringing back down that energy, which if it is imbalanced, can actually show up as a little bit scattered or disorganized and overwhelmed with anxiety. So see, to create balance between those two polar opposites of the radiating fieriness and then the low unproductive anxiety sensation, which all of us have experienced throughout our lives. We want to just make sure that we're moving our bodies in a correct way, that we're feeding our bodies and fueling our bodies in a correct way that will specifically and in particular enhance and support radiating energy and TCM. So one thing for food-wise, nutrient-wise, would be large leafy greens like kale, because they give us so much deep nutrients and encourage and influence a full expression of radiating energy. Grain-wise, corn and quinoa are a bit lighter than many of the other grains available to us today, and those would be wonderful to have incorporated into the meals that you choose to eat carbs with, because they're more easily digestible and more quickly digestible in the body, which also allows for a quicker response time with those creative, spontaneous bursts of energy and productivity. So those are a few tips that you can take with you to support your heart energy. When you're ready, I want you to simply roll over onto your back now, keeping your knees bent. We'll move into a simple bridge pose. It can be a supported bridge pose if you happen to have a block or a prop nearby. Inhaling on your own once. Exhale. Inhale, bridge pose. Keeping the neck straight. Relaxing the chin to chest there and simply looking up towards your ceiling with a neutral cervical spine. Feeling the compression into your thoracic T4-5-6 heart space area, letting gravity from this pose support and provide treatment and therapy for your heart space in the back. Broadening your chest, pressing the arms down onto the floor. As you're ready to release bridge pose, simply roll down one vertebrae by vertebrae, focusing on that central thoracic back area on your way down. That's good. Now I want you to stay with your knees bent and simply tilt your pelvis forward and back a few more times. Think about this as a baby cat-cow, as when we compressed in the cat position. Focus that same compression, focusing the compression on the small intestine part of the body. Tilt your pelvis forward and back and think mini pelvic cat-cow, extension, and then compression on that mid-gut area, small intestine. 3 to 5 more times on your own, moving with breath. Breath to movement, in through the nose, out through the mouth, or in and out through the nose, if that's what you prefer. Let's take one more bridge pose this time. If you haven't already, I want you to clasp your hands underneath your body once you've come up into bridge. So preparing inhale, exhale, let it go. Inhale, bridge pose, hips up. Bring the hands behind the back if you can. Palms to touch if you can. Feel this expansion in the heart space this time. Again, opening the shoulders, the inside of the arms, activating the lymphatic system, and be here in your breath in any difficulty or tension. 3 to 5 breaths at your own pace. possibly engaging a bit of ujjayi breathing, the fire belly breath, focusing on that internal fire, the agni, directly in that small intestine area. On your next exhale, release the hands, release the spine. As you exhale fully and your hips hit the ground, tilt your pelvis forward, crunch in. Exhale, extend the pelvis backward. Inhale, exhale, crunch in. Inhale, tilt the pelvis back slightly. Exhale. Okay, I want you to bring your knees to touch now. Bring your knees to touch in bridge prep position. Bring your feet a little bit wider out to the outer edges of the mat, and we're just in an active resting pose here. At this time, you can tee out your arms, and I want you to have your palms facing up. And just notice if simply having your arms out like this is stretch enough. Sinking down, grounding down, supporting what is needed to continue being creative, charismatic, full of life. I'll have you now remove your knees from one another, and you will go into a twist. So simply remain laying down and let both of your knees and legs move to the right side. Arms are still teed out, and look to the side, look left. Keep your left shoulder down on the ground. Notice that full side body from the glute med, the glute max, the piriformis, the hips, the lumbar region, side body obliques, thoracic area, all the way up through that armpit, and then wrapping around the front of the chest in your heart space. Make any adjustments here to make this feel better, more therapeutic, more specific to your body. And 2 to 3 more long, deep breaths here. Really anchoring in this new space you're creating for your whole body, and specifically the heart space, the small intestine space, and the meridians that we've discussed. When you're ready, on the next inhale, come back to center, knees pointing up towards the ceiling. Before you move to the other side, I want you to take a moment here. Bring your palms down to the ground at your sides, and simply give yourself a few mini pelvic cat-cows, forward and back, allowing the spine to recalibrate before moving directly to the other opposite twist. Ready, revisit bringing your feet to the outside edges of your mat, and this time you're going to twist left. And with that left twisting of your legs, your right shoulder remains anchored onto the ground. You adjust your hips as needed to to get that perfect angle just right. Palms are facing up again. Feeling the connection and those, the connecting of the dots of the hip to the low back, side body, thoracic, chest, inner shoulder, inner arm, even the neck. Deepen your breath here and breathe into any discomfort or any juiciness. Thoroughly enjoy it. Just 2 or 3 more breaths. Going deeper. What can you release with each exhale in each moment of your practice? Exhale it all away. Inhale yourself back up to that restorative resting pose. Knees to touch in the center, soles of the feet wide on the mat. Bring your arms down at your sides, palms facing down. Just 3 to 5. Mini cat-cow, pelvic tilt and extension. Wherever it feels good, lean into it, move slower. We'll simply give ourselves one final hug before moving into Shavasana, final resting pose. Bring your knees into your chest here while laying on your back. Inhale, exhale, chin to chest. Compress and squeeze it all out. And complete any last movements you may need, whether that's rolling from side to side, whether it's happy baby, wind removing pose, shaking your body out. When you're ready, we'll meet in Shavasana. Slowly, 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 dragging your legs down. And give your legs a little more space away from your midline. Give your arms a little more space away from your midline as you settle into Shavasana. Close down your eyes. Maybe cover your eyes. And simply breathe. space. Breathe some fiery summer creative energy down through your limbs, fingers, and toes. Give yourself a full body stretch here. Rolling over to your left hand side, the feminine side, full of creativity and new life. We remake our ideas, our sense of who we are, why we're here, what we're doing, over and over again with our practice. Push yourself up ever so gently into a seated position. Simply take 3 deep final breaths into your body. Full of gratitude, full of love, full of inspiration, and full of potential. Bringing our hands to heart center, the center of it all. I bow to you. Namaste.